Hello everyone, welcome to CryptoPi. Today's video I want to talk about something interesting which I have not come across until now. It's the bottom gain factor. The idea of bottom gain factor is we have to compute how much the current cycle's bottom has been higher than the previous cycle's bottom. So how much was the gain in the bottom from the previous cycle to the current cycle. The reason to say it's gain, because if you think of bottom as an asset, you would think, okay, how much did I gain when I entered a long for a particular asset, and we say the gain was 20%, 50%, and so on. So for this bottom gain factor idea, we need to first identify all the bottoms in the Bitcoin's history. And over here, the first bottom which we can see is in 2011. So if we say that this was the bull run, and then quite a strong drawdown here was in 2011, considering this was the first bottom. Now, how much did the bottom price increase, or not bottom price, but the bottom as the data point increase from this cycle to the next cycle? In the next cycle, the bottom was over here, if you consider the wick. If you consider close, then the bottom is on January 12th, 2015. If you consider the wick, then it is in August 2015. Now here, the bottom was approximately 8,000 something percentage. So bottom raised itself, bottom gained around 8,000%. Similarly, the bottom gain was from 2015 to 2018, approximately 1,800 and something. If you would continue the same idea, then the bottom gain from 2018 to 2022 was 393. Another question is, what will be the percentage gain for the bottom from 2022 to this current bear market? What do we have until now from our previous analysis of distribution line and accumulation line is that whenever the price crosses the distribution line, there is no new all-time high happening for that cycle. The cycle is basically over. The bull market is over when the price has crossed the distribution line. The new market begins only after the new bull run, new cycle begins only after price has crossed the accumulation line. For the current cycle, we saw the bull market since from 2022 until 2025 October, and then price is in downtrend, and it's quite unlikely, with comparing with the historical pattern, that we will see an all-time high before the price has crossed the accumulation line. Based on this analysis, we identified when does price bottom for Bitcoin in the bear market years. Usually, it is between these two lines. Price crosses the accumulation line over here, then there is a major drop of 20%, sometimes 50%, and then price goes sideways into accumulation phase, and when the pre-election year begins, we start seeing some bullish momentum in the price action. And that is where usually we consider this, that the bull market is back and the new cycle has started. So we do have the potential when the price will bottom. With this bottom raise factor or bottom gain factor, we want to identify where it will bottom. So what we already calculated is, let's switch this one off for the moment. We have this 8,000 in the first, for the first bottom, or the second bottom is 8,000% higher than the first bottom. Third bottom is 1,828% more than the second bottom. And the third bottom, after the third bottom, we saw the raise to the fourth bottom is 395% above the third bottom. The simplest way to identify this is we take ratios of the second bottom and the first bottom. So the gains, basically, the gain, we take the ratios of the gain over this one divided by this one, then this one divided by this one. So what we get here is the value that we have 8,024 divided by 1828, we get the value 4.9. 1828 divided by 395, we get 4.6. Then we have 395, and we want to identify the x. This x is the percentage gain of the bottom of this one from this one. So this bottom will, if you increase it, the gain happens, and then we will get the bottom for the current cycle. The factor which we get is 4.75 approximately, and that gives us the x value of 83%. So the bottom gain factor is 4.75 plus minus, let's say 0.25, because we had 4.9, 4.6. So if we give plus minus 0.5, we can define the range over here. So bottom gain factor of 4.75 brings us the bottom from first, second, third, fourth. The fourth bottom gains about 83% to give us the fifth bottom. And that comes down to somewhere around 28,500. Now, these are not the exact values. We have to look at it from the range point of view. If you think that this one, 28,500, what other confluences are at this price action? If you look at it from the point of view of order block, we have here a bullish order block, and according to order block theory, price usually mitigates to the order block. At the same time, we have two more entities. One of them is the breakout structure, and the other one is fair value gap. So it can happen that price might not come to the point of order block, but it mitigates the fair value gap or the breakout structure, and then has some sideways of accumulation before it starts the new bull market. So order block is somehow in confluence with the bottom gain factor. The second one, which is not 100% confluence about the value, but it somehow syncs with the trend. So if we switch on the accumulation and distribution line, you see that during this phase, when the price has crossed the distribution line, we see always a bear flag forming. So we have price going down, then some rally, then drop again, then price making short rallies, drop again, and these are called bear flags. Opposite happens in a bull market. You have price rallying, then some drawdowns, rallying, drawdowns, sideways, and so on. We are seeing a similar pattern over here. We already had first bull flag on a weekly time frame. We are on the way of making the second bear flag, not the bull flag, but the bear flag. And if this bear flag crashes all the way down here to 35,000, 30,000, then there is a possibility that price might touch the 28,000 level when it has crossed, so only after it has crossed the accumulation line. But if it stays somewhere in this range, then it's less likely to drop all the way down to 20,000, but it might mitigate to 34 to 40,000 after it has crossed the accumulation line. So looking at these three confluences, it gives a bit more of a practical or realistic path on where the price might go. We have now two of the estimations. First estimation which we did was the bottom gain factor, which gives us a range of price from 28,000 till, let's be more flexible, to 38,000. This is our price range. So that's 30 to 40,000. For 10, that's very reasonable given how volatile Bitcoin is. It can go within a week it can gain 10,000 and it can drop more than $10,000. So this is our price range from 30,000 to 40,000, and this is our time range. If we are considering about two questions. When will Bitcoin bottom? This is the range. And where will it bottom? Then this is the range. It's usually difficult to identify both of them at the same time. But looking at the chart and price analysis from a technical point of view, it gives us some idea on when and how much can I get involved from a risk point of view. How much risk can I take, and what is my reward given the risk I have taken at a particular time. I think that would be all for today's video. If you like the analysis, then do hit the subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.